Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, aim.
Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? It's your boy Doc Holiday. As we all are here, this is the HBCU Top 10, HBCU OverDrive Top 10 Live. And as always, make sure that you like to stream, comment, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to go on to hit everything HBCU OverDrive. For all my folks that's on Twitter, make sure you make your way over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And also just follow me on Twitter whenever you can, whenever you get a chance to. But other than that, how's everybody doing this evening? So how's everybody? What's going on for everybody that's up in here? EA already talking about he gonna put all his money on see if I got Jackson State #1. We shall see. I say put your money where your mouth is, and we can go on from there. We can go on from there. But man, but like I said, make sure that you like the stream, make sure that you comment, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Check out everything HBC OverDrive. Let's see who else we got up in here today. Who else is coming on right now? What's going on, Mr. Emmett? How you doing? How you doing? So let's go ahead and get this thing going. No problem. I aim to please everybody that comes on here. It was a good show. It was good. Both of those games were very good. They was very entertaining. And you know what's going to be entertaining? My polls for Division 1 and Division 2. That's what's going to be entertaining. So how you doing, Miss Quay? How you doing? You are, as always, you are a superstar. You and your husband. Ain't no way ain't nobody you're gonna be found on ESPN Plus in the stands, as always, doing your thing. Do your thing. But yeah, it's good. I've been off this hole for the last 2 days. Trying to figure out, I really didn't want to go back to work. I really want to stay home. Sometimes I just be wanting to chill out at the house, not do anything, watch some movies, watch, a little bit of YouTube, so play games on my phone, but man, it's one of the things like I'm always doing something. I'm always working, and I don't think I know when to sit my black ass down somewhere. So, um, but yeah, other than that, man, it has been a great one. Um, yeah. Hey Ed, I told you there would be no me and the Quay are Cowboy fans up in here. Quay is my head moderator. We are Cowboy fans up in here. There will be no Cowboy slander on this show whatsoever. Um, Mr. Norvell, man, I feel much better. So, um, for those that don't know, if you didn't know, or if it was like I I was admitted to the hospital last Wednesday with uh, chest pains. Of course, my blood pressure was up, um, and it was just a precaution because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on, and I basically just had to go to the hospital while I was at work. So that's the reason what happened. It was a false alarm because I don't know what a heart attack feels like. Don't want to know what it feels like. Don't need to know what it feels like. Uh, but other than that, the damn Cowboys damn near gave me a heart attack again. We could have won the game on Sunday, but um, some calls in this game that I was kind of upset at, but it it is what it is. I don't Russ, I don't eat pork like that. Pork does not do anything to me. I have here's the thing with my health. All right. I have an enlarged heart. So my heart is working overtime. Okay. Okay. And the only kind of pork I eat is bacon. Bacon. All right. I might get a pork chop here too, but I eat bacon. Not every day, but certain days I like to eat my bacon and in the morning with my breakfast. So it's not the pork. I'm just telling you what it is. I have a large heart and I have sleep apnea. So it was one of the things. Um, those are the things that I have. And I don't for those that I don't have high sodium. My in fact my all my tests came back. All my tests came back normal. All my tests came back normal. So I don't have nothing high, nothing like that on me. So don't have to worry about that. We are good. Okay. We are fine. Um I just want people to know that I am good. Um all right. Trying to find it. Here you go. I'm gonna fix this overlay in a minute when I get off of here. So I'm good, but I understand y'all make sure I'm good. Y'all making sure I'm good because I promise you, my mama, damn, she cuts me out. She cussed me out good time, one good time, and you know, I'm basically I'm basically good though. But today I was out today. I had a good evening. I mean, good day today. Slept most of the day, which is good. Yeah, EA, yes, sir. I will make sure that I will keep y'all in my prayers over in the Panhandle. If y'all don't know, there is a tropical storm out in the Gulf right now named Helene. From what I'm hearing, it's going to turn into a hurricane, or if it's already a hurricane because it entered the Gulf. Uh, y'all just make sure we pray for our people in the Florida Panhandle. Uh, yeah, Miss Emmy. Yeah, they. I just wanted to kind of scream at my TV. Well, not even scream at the TV. I was at work. I would scream at my phone. You gotta check on. We good. We good. How you doing, Miss Mary? How you doing? How you doing today? Uh, man, appreciate you for still supporting me while you watching the other one. Uh, got Uncle Said up in here. Yes, sir. From that frat, that's so nice. They named it twice. Oh yeah, man. We be cutting up on Fridays. Hopefully, I'll be off this Friday because I know I'm supposed to be off on Saturday. I actually and Miss Mary, I do eat turkey bacon. It's just so expensive. I do eat turkey bacon. Turkey bacon it is great. It's great. Johnson C. Smith should be number one. We gonna see. We gonna see. It's gonna be a surprise today. And EA, if you think I got Jack State number one, just go ahead and send $50 to the Cash App. That would help me out. That would help me out immensely for this weekend because it's State Fair Classic weekend. So that'll help me get a ticket and probably give me half of a turkey leg. but go ahead and help a boy out. I don't know. I'm not in denial because I don't look. Look, when it comes to my health, and I know me how I am about my health, I don't. I rarely eat pork. Like I said, I only eat pork when I eat a pork chop or two, and then I only eat bacon for breakfast. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay. Other than that, other than that, I have in a large heart. I have sleep apnea. And even when I was like at 235, 240, even when I was at 225, I still had sleep apnea. So I have a CPAP machine. I take medicine. I take a diuretic. So I do all that thing. I do all the things. But I appreciate you for making sure that I'm good, man. Yeah, everybody beat blood pressure up this weekend, and the SWAC had the SWAC had I'm not gonna say terrible, but they had an unproductive weekend this weekend. Like seriously, we can get into all of that right there. Let's see who got the donation for them. Appreciate you, EA. Appreciate you, EA. You said the nosebleed section. Nosebleed seats. Hey, Cotton Bowl is general admission. Just let you know that. I'll just let you know that the Cotton Bowl is general admission. It do, man. It does. It does. It helps out tremendously. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this quick commercial break. And when we get back, we will go ahead and start off with Division 2 for the poll this week from this week. And we'll be right back in the meantime. It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU OverDrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_OverDrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU OverDrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. We are back. We are back. I got my bottled water, so just so folks don't know, I do drink water. I do drink my water. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it, man. D2 football top 10 for this week. The 28th. I will go ahead and let's get this going. Well, appreciate you, EA, for the $25 donation, though, man. You're a good one. You're a good one. But let's go ahead and get this going. I have no honorable mentions for this week in Division 2 football. But there is a log jam. There is a log jam in the CIAA. I'm gonna just let y'all know where 11 out of 12 teams, or maybe 12 out of 13 teams, have at least one win right now. And in the SIAC, there's a log jam from the top. There is only one school at the top, and then there's a log jam of number 1 win teams right behind it. So starting at number 10, which on my phone it says 9, but starting at number 10, I got Fort Valley State. They're sitting at 1-2. They did not play. I take that back. They didn't play HBCU last week. They went to Cleveland, Mississippi, and took on Delta State. Throughout the whole time, they were in the lead in this game. Delta State basically came back and won the game, and regular and came back and won the game. They didn't go to overtime. They came back in regular in the fourth quarter, took the game over. It was a close one. All right, I got you. But I got Fort Valley at number 10 because they kind of went into the Lions Den and basically held their own against Delta State. But coming in at number 9, we have Livingstone College. They are 2-2. They did end up losing to Bowie State over the weekend, where this game was played in Bowie, Maryland. Bowie basically was back to their old tricks again as far as being a disruptive defense. A lot of takeaways in this game right here. Coming in at number 8 is Bowie State. Of course, they got their first win on Saturday against Livingstone College. Number 6 is Albany State at 1-2. They have they got their first win in the inaugural Frederick Douglass Football Classic that was held in Rochester, New York. I think that game was played against Central State, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to go back to and read, through the stats and everything again. Coming in at number 6, I have West Virginia State. They're 2-1. Basically coming off a win. They did the week before. They did have to get their first loss, but now they make their way back into the win column. Coming in at number 5, I got Fayetteville State. They're at 2-1. Now, like I said, there is a logjam in the CIAA where at least a team has at least 1 or 2 wins. So, that's what's happening with Fayetteville State. They got their win. They came back on the winning track this past weekend. We'll go into the games that I have marked for my games of the week and the CIAA and the SIAC. Coming in at number 4. I have the Winston-Salem State Rams coming in at 3-1, knocking off one of the CIAA powers in Virginia State, 15-14. Real defensive battle in this game right here. Coming in at number 3, we got Shaw on. That's 3-1. Basically, they're back on the winning track again from this weekend. Now, what's going on, Mr. Ken Rashad? What's going on, sir? Appreciate you for bringing me on the show yesterday. Y'all make sure y'all check out HBCU Sports on YouTube and also follow them on Twitter and on Facebook. Also, appreciate you for bringing me on, man. Now, like I said, I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a number 2 and a number 1. I have a 1A and a 1B. My 1B right now is Johnson C. Smith. They went and Virginia Union came to the Queen City, what they call Beatty Ford Road, whatever you want to call it. And Johnson C. Smith wins this game 21-16. To me, this team is for real. They still have another hurdle in the Virginia School and Virginia Union to play. They also got to play Fayetteville State. They also have to play Winston-Salem. Of course, they played Livingstone at the end. That's a rival. And they still got Bowie State. But at the end of the day, Johnson C. Smith is the real deal right now. They're sitting at 4-0. And coming in at 1A, yes, sir, we got Clark Atlanta. They are 3-0-1 right now with the big come from behind victory against Bethune-Cookman, Division I SWAC opponent. I say this. We talked about this last night. Bethune had a 31-7 lead, and then they upped it to 34. It was 34-14. 34-14 at halftime. All Bethune really had to do was pretty much play clock management, control the clock, run the ball. All they had to do was just run the ball. But at the same time, Clark did a good job of playing no huddle offense, keeping the substitutions minimal. Try to at least have some sort of a resemblance of a running game, and make sure that David Wright did not get on the ground. That what was Clark's, to me, that was Clark's MO. They played it, and to be honest, Clark's defense came at a time where basically it was time for them to put up or shut up, right? They play it's not strong, but they played the game basically to, as far as the defense go, to make sure that they were still able to be in the game. It was times where they had Bethune at like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, and for Bethune had Cam Ransom, and he was electric on Saturday also, throwing for 387, also running for 105 yards. He had 4 total TDs. He was a one-man wrecking crew for Bethune by himself. But the play of the game was David Wright throws an interception, and Bethune basically, whoever, I don't know if it was the DB for Bethune basically was like, look, we got to try to take it to the house. And the way it looked, it was clear sailing. But at just the right time, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Armani Harris, receiver for Clark, knocks the ball out. Clark gets the ball back at where their line of scrimmage was at. That is the play. That was the play of the game. That is what turned that game around right there, because it gave Clark another chance to get themselves in contention. You still had 2 quarters. If you up 34-7, 34-14, you had 2 quarters to make sure that this team don't get themselves in a position. And look who's coming on in here. Look who's coming on in here. Come on up, Mr. Ford. But the receiver pass that Armani threw to the receiver, to the second receiver in the end zone, was a masterful play. Bethune was not for that play. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. We talk about your Panthers.
I heard you. I'm listening to you.
You know, they showed me some grit. Basically
Yeah,
they kept knocking this game. They kept knocking the lead down, and the drive of the game was the last drive where I think Clark was at either the 1 or the 2 yard line and had to march down the field where they felt like that their field goal kickers was able to get them. You know, did not know that he had a leg like that, but he booted that 55-yard field goal, and he still had 5 yards to spare. Game over. You that was a demoralizing defeat for Bethune. What you got to say about it, Mr. Ford? Because I know you watched it on Saturday.
listen. Let me be truthful. Let me be truthful. It was 28-6 in the first quarter. I turned away from it. I have yet to watch the game in its entirety. I got to go back and watch it in its entirety. This is very new for me. Clark, when I was in college, I think we had one team that was kind of outstanding. That was my freshman year in '78. That team was pretty good. And I really don't remember us having a team. But let me say this. You've been blowing Coach Teddy Keaton's horn since the first time I heard you talk about him was last January.
Yeah, when he was at
And
Allen.
that's right. And you let me talk to him one night, but I
Mm-hmm.
had no idea that this would come about. I'm just watching this thing. I'm watching to see if the school will, support him, because it's obvious he know what he's doing. Uh, the other thing that I'm this on my mind is what's going on at Bethune-Cookman.
That's my whole thing. Because I said
Yeah,
this on Friday. I said it, and I said this, and I think Uncle Said can vouch for me on this. I said Bethune loses game. It's not on the players. This is more on the coaching.
yeah. Ooh, this is a thing on many different planes here. With the amount of money that them people spend on athletics down there. You are a Division I conference. You in the SWAC, and you let a SIAC school who is a perennial loser come to your city and beat you. What did that say about Bethune?
I think that tells us that that it's some things that they're not working on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, you know what? I got to follow this. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that a lot of people saw that Coach Keaton do, and he and his staff, and I'm just waiting to see. If somebody will see about moving him up. I just got to see. I got to see.
It was a crazy thing. We said this on Sunday. That somebody from either the 757 area or
Uh,
over in North Alabama might be trying to get him a call.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But like I said, kudos to you because you was blowing his horn real early. Like I tell people, 3 years ago, Blue was blowing up Cam Ward. Last January, you were blowing up Teddy Keaton. So kudos to y'all for, telling us about those people. And that's what it's all about,
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
So next week they have Lane College in Memphis. at
Okay.
3 p.m. I think they playing over at almost they playing at the Liberty Bowl, but
Oh, they're at the Liberty Bowl?
I don't know where at in Memphis, but that's where they playing Lane at 3 p.m.
Whoa.
So they still. So here's the thing: the rest of their schedule sets out like this. They got Lane Saturday. They have on October the 5th Savannah State in at home. They on the
Right.
road on October the 12th and Wilberforce as take on Central State.
Right.
They got the last 3 games at home, but one of them technically is on the road. Okay, that she said, Miss Mimi said it's the Bluff City Classic at Central High School in Memphis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You got Miles on the 19th at home. You got Tuskegee, so you got a bye week after that, and then on November the 2nd, you got Tuskegee at home, and then on November the 9th, you go across the street and you play Morehouse. It ends the rest of your season right there.
Well, the
So
class it should be them in Miles, and that because I'm gonna say this again, and I know people don't like it. Tuskegee's program is falling.
right,
That program is falling. I'm not
right.
looking for them to do nothing. Okay, but this Miles game, did you say that Miles game is in Atlanta or is that in Fairfield?
Atlanta.
Oh, that's going to be a clash.
Miles got their first victory they got their win this weekend. Tuskegee lost. Morehouse got their first victory.
Yeah, I heard
Lane
more.
got their first victory. Savannah State the same way too. So it's a log jam in the SIAC. And the only team that's sitting at the top is Clark. Because you got Tuskegee is 0-3. Kentucky State is 0-4. Allen, Morehouse, Edward Waters, Central State, Savannah, Benedict, Lane, Fort Valley, Miles, and Albany State all got 1 win.
Okay. So listen, Clark could be the big dog this year. Wouldn't it be something if Clark won the SIAC championship?
It will be something.
That would be
I
something.
think it all depends on if the rest of the teams can get themselves jump started. You got let's say with Miles' schedule really wasn't it's not a bad schedule because of course they lost to West Alabama by a point. They go on the road. They play Alabama State in Montgomery. They lose to them by 21, and then they beat Lane last week, this past weekend, 42-32. They got Allen, Central State. So they got Allen on the road in Blythewood. They got Central State and Albany State in Fairfield. It's consecutive weekends. They on the road at Clark, so that's the big one right there. They go to Columbia, take on Benedict, Morehouse in Birmingham, so they can play them at the Crampton Bowl, and then Tuskegee in Tuskegee.
Wait a minute, now the Crampton Bowl is in Montgomery, right?
Oh, not Montgomery. Well, Morehouse, were they playing them in? Are they playing them at? I know they ain't playing them at Protected Field, but at Legion Field.
Okay, at Legion Field. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's their schedule right there. So I mean, to me, that's their schedule right there for the rest of the season. And then, like I said, you still got other teams. Fort Valley, almost had Delta State, lost them by 3. That game was 27-24. Fort Valley had the lead majority of this whole game this past weekend. So they got Savannah State. They on the road in Florida. Savannah State and Edward Waters. That back-to-back weekends. They got Allen at home. They play South Carolina State in Orangeburg. They got Morehouse in Atlanta, Benedict at home, and then Albany, of course, the Fountain City Classic in Columbus.
Okay.
So they had a D2 power in Delta State, and then they got a D1 game against South Carolina State.
Hey, now when does Clark play Albany State?
Clark plays Albany State. They don't.
They don't?
Nuh-uh.
Whoa.
Clark has the more favorable schedule out of everybody.
Whoa. Well, we're gonna keep an eye on Coach Keaton's outfit now.
Miss Mimi said Tuskegee and Morehouse is playing in Columbus this year.
Okay, well that's where it was for many years. It was that was a classic. I can't think of the name of it right now. That's a very old classic.
I don't know what that classic is either. I gotta.
Yeah, that's an old classic. They moved it out of Columbus and moved it to Birmingham because of the mayor up at Birmingham. The mayor of Birmingham is a graduate of Morehouse.
Okay, Mayor Woodfin.
Yeah, he's a graduate of Morehouse.
Okay, so then in the CIAA, Johnson C. Smith is 4-0 for the first time in what they said something like in 20-something years.
Oh yeah.
So they 2-0. They 2-0 against the SIAC. They of course they beat up on Lincoln, and then they pulled the victory out at home against Virginia Union. They're on the road at Bluefield State. They got the following weekend, next weekend, they got Virginia State at home. They have a bye week, and on the 19th they play Shaw at home. They are on the road at Winston-Salem. They have Fayetteville State at home, and then of course they are on the road against Livingstone at the end of the year. So they already took care of one Virginia school. They could go and beat the other Virginia school, because I don't think the Virginia schools aren't that strong. I mean, they have a strong base, but I don't think they're strong this year. Shaw, Winston-Salem State, and Fayetteville State and Livingstone all have winning records.
That guy, Coach Flowers, is. I saw him at Fort Valley. I used to like the way he ran his offense. He was pretty good offensively. I think I remember him being Daryl McNeil's offensive coordinator. That's been some years back at Johnson C. Smith.
Okay.
And he was pretty good. He ran that 4 wide, and he knew what he was doing.
Yep. So I think these rankings can hold up all the way up until towards maybe the last 2 games of the season, if they hold up like that. But we're gonna get on this Division 1, and it's gonna be different from what I see. So my honorable mention is I have Texas Southern. They at 1-2. They had a dogfight against Lamar on Saturday. Alabama A&M is at 2-2. They got railroaded, destroyed by Austin Peay.
Right.
South Carolina State at 1-2.
They got a big one this week.
They got a big one this weekend, but I feel like they're probably gonna. I don't know if they're doing bad like what what Central did them, but it's gonna look ugly. And then I got Alabama State at 1-2, and they got a big one this weekend too.
So A&T getting that MEAC beat down, huh?
Yep, might well gonna make your way back to the MEAC.
Yeah, they getting that MEAC beat down. You remember what your friend, what he told Mr. Mona? We'll be competitive. We'll be competitive.
It is people in the alumni for A&T that is calling for Vincent Brown to get fired.
No, they need to get after Earl Hilton. That's who you need to get after. Earl Hilton. Start from the top. And then go down.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Coming in at number 10, we got Norfolk State. They at 2-3. They're coming off a victory this past weekend. But I got to figure out who they played this on last Saturday. Let me go ahead and they did win against VMI. I would have had an issue if they would not have won that game against
that
Virginia
quarterback
Military.
had a big. Didn't he throw for 200 yards?
Yeah, he had a big game.
He had a big game.
Coons, I think Otto Coons, he was eligible to come back this past weekend, but I don't think he's going to get that. I don't think he's going to get that spot back.
I don't think. Listen, aren't they out in Indianapolis? Where's Norfolk this week?
They are in Indianapolis this weekend.
Yeah,
it's
they're playing Central. They're playing the Eagles.
Circle City Classic.
Circle City Classic. Yeah.
Tennessee State comes in at number 9 at 2-2. They are coming off of a defeat against Tennessee Tech 24-14. Now, this is the second year in a row that they have lost to Tennessee Tech. I don't know what they have on them, like seriously, but at the same time, like you got to beat them. If you're a pick to beat them, you got to go out there and beat them. But I think that they should be safe, but their schedule don't get easy either. We're going to go back on their schedule too. Coming in at number 8 is Howard. They're coming off of loss against their rival, Hampton. 27.
That was a battle of the real HU.
That was the Bougie Bowl Part 1 that I would call it, right? Part 2. That's the Bougie Bowl Part 2.
Hampton has won it for 8 straight years, right? What is it?
That is 8 years in a row.
8 years in a row.
Now, in fact, Hampton didn't even play in 22 because Howard ended up playing Harvard in 2022 in this classic.
Okay.
So, and they lost. So they haven't won this Truth and Service Classic in a while. And they got a game. I call it the battle of the SATs against Princeton. Who got the highest SAT score right now? That's what I would call it. Southern comes in at number 7. They coming off a big win in overtime against Prairie View, 31-24. Prairie View had the lead for 3 quarters. Prairie View had the lead for 3 quarters. Now, while I was streaming the game, the Jackson State Grambling game, I was keeping up on my phone, looking at this game, keeping up on my phone with this game right here. The best thing about this game, Noah Biden did not throw an interception in this game. He had 3 touchdowns thrown, and he had over 200 yards passing in this game too. Southern basically ran the ball. They had, I think, probably a little bit over 150 yards as a team rushing. This is the Southern that you're supposed to look at right here. This is the Southern you're supposed to look at right here.
They actually can be better than what they are, especially offensively.
Offensively, they can be better. That defense had 7 sacks. That defense had 7 sacks Saturday too. So
yeah,
I
But
would
that
give
the question mark is still the offense coordination.
right.
It's mediocre at best.
Coming in at number 6, and EA gonna run me another 25 on here. Is Jackson State coming in at 2-2? Look, we got our butts kicked. Plain and simple. I said this Saturday night. I said this Sunday night. I said this last night. We got our butts kicked. You cannot win a game when you have 5+ turnovers and you have more than 10 penalties in a whole game. And we didn't even dominate the time of possession either. Grambling had the ball 35 minutes compared to our 25. Can't win a game that way. Only way you can probably win a game that way is if you got a quick strike offense. That ain't what we have right now. So we sitting at number 6. So people can get off my case talking about y'all they not a number 1 team. Y'all get off my case. They gotta work for it now. You right, Adrian. Grambling ain't got no offense. They ain't got no offense. But they sure do got a damn opportunistic defense. So I give them that. And the best thing about this is because Jason Rollins was on the coach's call yesterday, since Coach Joseph was here is here in Dallas right now, gearing up for the State Fair Classic. He's been a godsend to y'all for Grambling for your defense. Because y'all defense was poo-cheese the last 3 years under Hugh Jackson. So
They were a joke. It was a zoo. If they actually went and got a football man. Hugh Jackson wasn't no football man. He was a sideshow. He was a circus. They got a real football coach now.
and
Now let me say this. Let me say this. As a Grambling graduate, Jackson State's football team is better than our football team, even though we won. Let me say this. I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. Number one thing I noticed at the beginning of that game, Jackson State had not put that Southern game behind them. They were still reveling in that big win the week before. When I used to coach, we used to always tell our players, you take 24 hours and you kiss your behind about how good you are, and then you let it go because we got another game to play next week. That's what Jackson didn't do. They didn't put that Southern stuff behind them. And they came to Grambling as if Grambling was supposed to lay down for them. And that's why Grambling pimp slapped them early on with that 14-point lead. Now, the other thing is this. Let me just say this, and I hope y'all understand this. TC is reluctant about making or deciding on one quarterback. Let me tell you what's going on with that. See, trying to play 1A and 1B like they doing, that's like a woman having 2 husbands in the same house. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. They got to, I know he don't want to make the decision. He got to pick somebody. And another thing, the way that them boys looked last Saturday, you can't tell me Zay Boulder shouldn't have got some time. He should have got some time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to tell you, as far as a complete team, Grambling was not better than Jackson. But here's the thing. Grambling came into that game hungry. Jackson was still reveling in that victory they had the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I got to say about, you was talking about Jason Rollins now. See, here's the thing I saw Saturday night. Mickey Joseph has taken Grambling back to the basics. They gone back to just doing hitting, tackling, blocking. That's all they doing. They
And I'll
go
say it,
back to the basics.
and I
And the
said
thing
this
about
last night.
Gremlin that I saw too, Gremlin's gonna get even better.
I said this last night too. I said if Jason Rollins was the defensive coordinator last season, where you had all those toys on the defense with Lewis Matthews at linebacker, Sonny Anderson on DN, you had all those players on the defensive line. It would have been a whole different story last season because the defense last season, your defense looked like a middle school defense. This year, they done did a whole 180, and they lead the whole country in takeaways. That says a lot right there. That's it. That tells you a lot. Like you
And
said, they went back to the basics.
let me say this. Let me say this. When I after watching that game, see, when I was coming along, I'm a 60s, 70s person. That's when my life
Mm.
was shaped and formed. When I was coming along, our FAMU had a really deep rivalry with Tennessee State, but they also had a very deep rivalry with Grambling. After watching that game Saturday night, that FAMU Grambling rivalry is getting ready to be 38 hot again. It's getting ready to be hot again. I'm
You
telling
said
you,
30. You said 38 hot.
38 hot.
Um. So go ahead, continue. Then we could go ahead and have a whole discussion. Coming in number 5, we got FAMU. They sitting at 2-2. Coming off a loss against Troy, where they pretty much was hanging with them dudes in the game, and third, fourth quarter is it the tide turned in the hands of the Trojans, and basically they went and sealed the game 34-12. I could have flip-flopped these two right here, because coming in at number 4 is Morgan State. They're coming in at 2-2. I could have flip-flopped. I could have put Morgan at 5. I could have put FAMU at 4, which I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that. Morgan coming in at 5, FAMU coming in at 4, but I'm gonna keep on with Morgan. They played the side chick HBCU football, Virginia Lynchburg. um, I I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I think that's a good way to get your offense jump started to play a cupcake like that. But at the same time, does it really help you? Because now you're going into the next game. You're going up to Long Island, New York, to play Stony Brook. We should see what that game is all about. But coming in at number 3, I got them Eagles from Durham, North Carolina Central, who basically 66-24.
He was sending a message.
He was sending a big message.
Yeah, he was sending a message. And that
He
was done
was
purposely.
he was sending a big message. They was telling me, Josh, Mr. Seals, he was telling me, he said, man, the crowd was telling A&T to lay down while they was pointing at the scoreboard. And then he also was telling me that he told me that Trey Oliver, Coach Trey, was pacing up and down the sideline saying, do I really want to put 80 on this team? Because he had a damn good chance to do it. I was like, so I guess he was channeling his inner Kevin Garnett in a way. Because that's what KG do. KG talked to himself. to get himself riled up and stuff like that. So I'm like, that game was bad. It was bad, and not only it was a rivalry bad, where the coach like you could take that 66 point back to Greensboro. What?
And you use that in recruiting because they're going to be going after a lot of the same kids. He will make sure that they know what that score was. And what he'll be letting those kids know is this is where their program is and this is where our program is.
Yep.
We had the 66 and they had the 24?
24.
24. That was also done for recruiting purposes.
You got a whole fan base pissed off. Coming in at number 2 is your other alma mater, Grambling. Coming in at 3-1. We've already talked about what they have. Well, I don't have I don't know how to nowhere to put them else at except for number 2. I could have put them at 3. I mean, but at the same time,
let me say this: Grambling should not be over North Carolina Central. We shouldn't be over Central. We shouldn't be over Hampton. We shouldn't be over Florida A&M. Them 3 right there, we definitely shouldn't be over them.
Well, I would say this: y'all still time to play. You got Prairie View this weekend. Got Prairie View this weekend at State Fair Classic. But I always say, I've been going to this game. I've been going to the State Fair Classic since 1991. Since I was 11 years old. And that was at the time where Prairie View basically came back damn near as a club football team. And y'all know the rest. y'all know the rest. Where it was year after year after year after year after year of futility. Y'all know the rest.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to be shocked if Grambling don't beat Prairie View by at least 2 touchdowns. You and I talked about this last year, and I told you last year that Prairie View's defense is a hot mess. It's a dumpster fire. And I told you that Bubba needed a defensive coordinator. You said, no, they don't. And I'm going to say it again. Bubba needs a defensive coordinator. Their defense is a hot, I don't know what they doing. I really don't.
Crook, you said how many times have I seen Prairie View win that game, watching that game? So I was 11 when I went to my first game. I'm about to turn 45 in 2 weeks. It's going to be 34 years. Probably out of those 34 years, maybe like 15. No, I'll take that back. Yeah, about 12, 13 times. I remember Eddie Robinson for those years, for 6 years, was the head coach at Grambling. And we talking about they was beating them like 63-0, 70-0, 63-7. But I mean, but then things started turning around for Prairie View because once they got that victory at Langston, and then of course they played Southern the week after because of the fact they got into the fight, the band got to the fight and everything. That was the year in '98 they became competitive to me. And then after that, it kind of just went back and just died down. But after that, it was like it was like, you know what? You got to get better. And that's right. North Carolina A&T did play in that game. But as far as Prairie View goes, man, I
Well,
have seen straight.
Prairie View is underachieving. What's going on out there right now is that Bubba is harboring just mediocre and below coaching. Like I told you, he should have straightened that defense out last year after them two whoopings to FAMU. He should have went out and got a defense coordinator. He went and got an offense coordinator. He needs to go get a defensive coordinator. And see, that's what he's doing. He's and it's shocking for me because Bubba played on some outstanding defenses at the University of Miami. He played on some outstanding defenses with the Houston Oilers. And then you got that defense that they got at Prairie View representing you. That makes no sense. And then here's the other thing. Prairie View spends more money on athletics than any other HBCU in America. They don't have to put up with that. He's harboring mediocre and below coaching. That's on Bubba.
Mimi, you are right on par. Because Grambling has won the State Fair Classic 23 times since 1992. I'm about right. Like I said, that's about 34, 35 years. Yes, about 12, 13 times that Prairie View has won this game since the 90s. I hate the fact that this game is not going to be televised because
I thought it was on ESPN Plus.
I don't think it is because this.
You better check it. I think it is. I think it's on ESPN Plus.
Let me make sure.
Yeah. I think so. You go to ESPN.
Yeah, it is on ESPN Plus. So
yeah, I thought it was.
ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Because long time it was never that game was never televised.
Right, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And I think that's the way the promoters wanted it, right?
Yeah, but we got some janky promoters. Like literally. Janky promoters. Now Prairie View in the last 5 years, 6 years, I take that back. They have won this game.
Dooley was a dog. Did Dooley ever lose?
Dooley has never lost to Grambling when he was at Prairie View.
Right.
In fact, he didn't lose to Grambling when he was at Southern.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's right. Well,
that's right.
The first year he won it, but then the second year wasn't he fired?
So he got fired. Yeah, it was the second year, but still.
Yeah, because it was the coach that's down there that was he got that win.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I'll still put it on Dooley, because that was most of the Dooley scene right there. He ain't never lost against Grambling. But Prairie View did have that number for a while, and then the last 2 years, no, not the last 2 years. Last year, Grambling won against them. Last year, that was the first year. And then, so the last 6 years, Prairie View has had their number. Now,
Dooley owned Grambling.
At the Western Hotel downtown. Nah, I would probably, if I haven't booked the trip yet, but it'll more likely I'll be staying at Pearl when I come from the FAMU game. Yeah, I want to see who's gonna do play-by-play. So, and Grambling is the home team this year in the State Fair Classic. So, knowing my niece, because my niece goes to Prairie View. Gonna sit on a visitor side where hopefully the sun be down by that time behind the stadium. So I got to get my camera and stuff ready for that. And then coming in at number 1, I got Hampton sitting at 3-1. Big win over Howard, 27-20.
Oh yeah.
Doing all this with an interim head coach. Also, Chris Zealous did not turn the ball over in this game either. They got a running game.
I like that guy, man. Yes, they do.
And the best thing about this is that their schedule is a little bit favorable in the CAA. Let's see, because this weekend they'll probably lose. They got William and Mary. They are on the road at William and Mary this weekend.
That's Mike London, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they go to they host Rhode Island. That would be an interesting game right there. And then they go to A&T for Jiho.
They're gonna beat A&T up. They go to A&T for A&T's homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're gonna beat them up.
So now then they got a buzzsaw towards the middle, right before the end. They got Elon. They host Elon at home. They have Villanova coming into Hampton. They on the road in Baltimore County against Towson. Richmond comes to visit them. In the last game of the year, they are in New York to play UAlbany. So I think this William and Mary game right here is a must. It is a must-win game for them, because this will keep them in. This would actually give them a 1-up in conference play. First of all, and second of all, it gives them momentum going into this Rhode Island game. I think they could be competitive in majority of these games right here. Even that Towson game. Towson is not what they was the last year, the year before, because they're sitting at 1-3 right now. And Towson does have a little bit of a younger team this year too. So I would say they can get with William and Mary, but if they lose, I think it would be close. They can win against Rhode Island. We know they're gonna beat the brakes off of A&T. I think they can get with Elon. Villanova, I know for a fact Villanova is going to be a loss. They can get with Towson, and then Richmond is not as strong as it is because they had issues playing with Delaware State this past weekend.
What was that final score?
It was 38-24.
So that guy's trying to be competitive at Delaware State. That's Lee Hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we said they ain't beating Towson, but Towson is not. They're in the second year. What's the coach's name? Jamie Sheck, because he's the one that came from West Florida.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that came from West Florida. They do have a chance to beat them. They do have a chance to beat them, but
too bad they're not in the MEAC. We could see them in the Celebration Bowl.
That would be good. That would be fun. I want to see them. Come on back. Come on back.
Yeah,
Dr.
that's right.
Martin ain't there no
Don't
more.
go back.
Dr. Martin ain't there no more. Come on back.
You mean Slick Harvey?
Harvey. That's what I'm
Slick,
talking
yeah,
about.
William Harvey. Slick, we call him Slick Harvey.
Well, we shall see what happens. We shall see something. So let's go ahead. We got games for this weekend. Of course, in the we talked about CIAA. Let's see, the Big South OVC, Tennessee State is hosting Charleston Southern. I think that would be a bounce back win for them. I feel like
that's the guy. Remember that guy was at Albany State, Gabe Gabino.
Mm-hmm.
He's the coach at Charleston Southern. He left Albany State and went up to Charleston Southern. I think he had been there before.
Then let's see in the MEAC. Of course, Delaware stays on the road at Campbell. I think that would be an interesting one. Delaware State plan on leaving the MEAC? Nah. They plan on leaving the MEAC. That will pretty much tank the conference right there. That would take the conference. Of course, Howard's on the road to play Princeton. Princeton just played their first game of the season. This past weekend, they lost to Lehigh by 15. So they started their season late. The Ivy League started late. I think Howard can actually get them. Central against Norfolk State in Norfolk, Virginia. I want to see a
No, that game is in Indianapolis, isn't it?
Indianapolis, yeah, Indianapolis. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
at Circle City Classic.
Right.
I want to see I want to see this repeat of what Norfolk did with the passing yards and stuff like that, because this dude, Jalen Daniels, is a good quarterback.
Yeah, you got Walker Harris. And you got that kid.
Jamari Taylor for running back.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that kid at Norfolk. What you
Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, them guys are gonna go at it. Now you also got to remember Dawson Odom and Trey Oliver were teammates at North Carolina Central. At one time, Dawson Odom's hired Trey Oliver to be his defensive coordinator at Southern.
Oh man. Time flies, don't it?
Yeah. So that's family now. That game Saturday in Indianapolis, that's going to be cats and dogs.
Then we got Morgan State going up to New York to play Stony Brook. That would be an interesting game right there. Mm-hmm. And then the nightcap game, the game of the week for the MEAC, to me, is A&T versus South Carolina State.
I figure South Carolina State should run over them. Yeah, I think it's going to be the MEAC beatdown, man. It's going to be the MEAC beatdown tour.
I said this on Sunday, and I wasn't trying to be funny. Maybe I was, but you got teams in the CIAA that's better than this A&T team right here. In fact, A&T's only victory is against a CIAA team. It's against
Winston-Salem,
where the game was very, very, very close.
Hey, Miss Whitley.
The game was very close. So I'm looking. Yeah, looking
Well,
forward to that.
and I listen, A&T is a great school, but Chancellor Martin and Earl Hilton, they wrecked that program. When they pulled that team out of pulled that school out of the MEAC, they wrecked that program. They didn't count the cost. And I've said this over and over. You going up into them people's conference and you ain't got no money. I've said it over and over. Villanova got 58 million. Okay, you want to be in the conference with them and you got 16 million. What's the difference between 58 and 16?
A lot to a little. A lot to a little. Let's go ahead, go into the SWAC. We got Alcorn going on the road to the Delta, take on Mississippi Valley. Valley is just going to be their first home game of the season. They debuted the new turf and they debuted the new jumbotron. Let's hope that Valley does not have a 6 interception game like they just did last week. Alcorn basically had their running game is atrocious. I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation, but
I think this game is going to be close. I don't think it's going to be no runaway game.
yeah,
I think this
Cook
game.
said
Now
he got
Alcorn's going to play defense. Now you already know that they're going to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this game could be very close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't, man. Somebody gonna like that. It gotta end, right? It gotta end some way, somehow for Valley, the loser streak. Gotta end some way. And it's gonna be like family versus family because
Oh yeah.
Coach
Yeah.
Wade and Coach Thomas is from the same. They from the same area. They went to the same. Well, Coach Thomas older, but Coach Wade look at him like his uncle. They from the same high school.
What was their high school?
Anybody know what school Coach Wade went to in the Delta?
What's his hometown?
Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. He is from Cleveland, Mississippi. Oh, he went to Eastside. They was Eastside High School.
Oh yeah,
Before they.
okay. That's Delta State territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I know about Cleveland. You remember
Yep.
Lucy Harris?
Yeah, then she was the basketball, right? Yeah.
And she was the head coach at Texas Southern for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
She was a 76 Olympian. She played with Pat Summitt. They won the team together.
Okay. But yeah, it's gonna be that's going to be something. I gotta see how somebody gotta win this game right here. Another game that somebody gotta win the game is Alabama State versus Bethune-Cookman down in Daytona.
I think that will be close. I think that game will be close.
Now I do like the quarterback. I do like the quarterback for Bethune.
Yeah, the lefty.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, but I think that's gonna be a. I do like him because he had almost five. He had close to 500 yards of total offense by himself. Like he was. He could that what that was what I was envisioning Jacoby Morgan to be like. If you got a dude that's 6'3", 6'4", and he 225, 230, and he was running like that, that's what I envision him. That's what I was envisioning on him. But somebody got to win that game too. You got a freshman quarterback who's going to what will he do for Alabama State? Mr. Jackson, Jerry Rice is from Crawford, Mississippi.
Yeah, that's close to Starksville, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. So let me see something. Miss Mimi said Bethune Cookman needs to run the wire bone.
Yeah,
Go
Shine.
on get Shine back down.
What is Shine doing now?
I don't know what he's doing.
I know one time he was at Edward Waters, but I think he's no longer there, right?
Right. Hey, Adrian, I cannot say Alcorn looks like UAPB because Pine Bluff actually has offense. I cannot say that. Jackson State versus Texas Southern down in Houston at the Shell.
Is that a night game or a day game?
That's a 6:00 game.
So it's a night game. They should get a nice crowd.
It's gonna be a nice crowd. It's gonna be pro Jackson
That's
State.
televised too, isn't it? Isn't that televised?
Yes, it is. ESPN Plus.
Plus, yeah.
Yep, that's gonna be pro Jackson State. We got a big alumni base in Houston, and then you're gonna have a big alumni base in Dallas coming from Dallas. They'll make that 4-hour drive.
I think that's gonna be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
That's TC matching with Chris Dishman.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like Coach Dishman's approach. Don't get me wrong. I
do
love
too.
Coach
I like
DC.
it. You know what? For them to go down there and play Lamar like that, we better watch out.
Yeah.
We better watch out.
And last but not least, game of the week for us would be Prairie View versus Grambling State Fair Classic, 6:00 kickoff, ESPN Plus. I have my camera in tow. I have my cell phone in tow, and I'm gonna have a turkey leg in my hand. So
when are you going? So when are you going down to Houston?
I won't be in Houston. I'll be they both start at 6:00.
Okay, so you're not going down to Houston?
I'll be here at home. I'll be at the fair.
Okay, that's right. You'll be at the Grambling Prairie View game. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What you think? They should get about 55, 50? What should they get?
They probably get about 55, 60,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Now let's just say if both teams was winning and the promoters did a better job of promoting this damn game, you could probably see about 70. You could probably see 75,000 up in here.
Oh yeah.
You can. It can happen. But you gotta have both teams to win. You got a good alumni base. Both schools have big alumni bases here in the DFW area. And of course, they got Grambling has their alumni base in Shreveport. Shreveport ain't no but a 2-hour 45-minute drive.
That's right.
From Dallas, true. So they're gonna be in Dallas.
Grambling's largest alumni is in Dallas, right?
It's in Dallas. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep, you're gonna have a big one.
I'm taking Grambling by at least 2 touchdowns. At least 2 touchdowns.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a game. It was supposed to be a game. Another last game of the week was supposed to be FAMU versus A&M, but they moved that game
to the 29th of November.
20th of November.
Yeah.
So that means for FAMU, let me see. And it's crazy because they play Alabama State next Saturday.
October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a big game. That should be a sellout.
Yep. So then, of course, they're going to have a break. They'll still have their bye. They play Jackson State on the 19th, Southern on the 26th, Texas Southern on November the 2nd, Prairie View on November the 9th.
Is Texas Southern in Tallahassee?
Texas Southern is in Tallahassee.
That's going to be a big game.
Prairie View, they go on the road to Prairie View on the 9th of November. They got Valley coming into to Tally on the 16th. They go to Orlando for the for the Florida Classic, and then they have the last game on the 29th, which is a shortened weekend on that Friday. So let's just say this. FAMU goes on. FAMU, let's just say they win against Alabama State. They lose against Jackson State. And they make a run. They would not have no time. They would not have no time to even get ready for the SWAC championship if they are to go to the SWAC championship game, right? Also, if they lose any other time in this stretch, in this long stretch right here, they can't even qualify for the playoffs because why? The playoffs starts. The playoffs starts that Saturday on the 23rd. No,
Doc,
starts.
That's not even in their thought pattern, man.
That's not in their thought pattern, though.
Thought pattern. Sam is all about that bowl, that celebration bowl. Because see, they know that they'll end up being sent to some little hick town in Louisiana, like they did with that. Remember that game they had with Southeast? Yeah, they don't want that. They want that celebration bowl. This is their headquarters. They want to be here in Atlanta. That's not even a thought of theirs. That playoff thing, that's not a thought of theirs. It's celebration bowl or bust for them.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we should look. I'm just saying. I think you can't. I think you can't mess up because if you want to get, like I said, you want to get back to the championship, you gotta run the whole table.
Oh yeah, once they move that, it used to be the SWAC championship game, and then you had a 2-week rest. Now it's SWAC championship game and Celebration Bowl next week. We gonna find out who got depth, who got everything, because baby, this gonna push your program now. One way or another, it's gonna push your program because it ain't gonna be no rest period. It's gonna be the next week, which I really don't have no problem with it. I don't.
No. I don't have no issue with it either. Folks are gonna have issue with it because it's like, well, we go to this, let's just say somebody hosts a SWAC championship game and then you turn around, you gotta, get your money
come
right for
gotta come here.
Yeah. So yeah, I could understand. I could kind of see where they go about right there.
Yeah, you're gonna be tried. Hey, it's gonna be like they say, putting that fire to that gold, baby. If you got any impurities, it's coming out.
So, but yeah, man, look, prayers to folks in the Florida Panhandle because they do have a storm that's coming their way.
Oh yeah, it's coming too, man. That thing could hit Florida with at a category 3, I think, or maybe worse.
Well, it's a 5 right now, right?
Well,
Or is it?
It let's see, is it in the Caribbean right now, or has it gotten in the Gulf?
Last time I looked, they said it was still sleeping in the Caribbean right now.
In the Caribbean, I think it's gonna pick up the power and the steam when it gets to the Gulf.
Yeah. Yeah, some folks saying that storm is going to scare. It says it's a category 2.
Yeah, it's supposed to drop 4 to 5 inches of rain on Atlanta. Yeah, it's supposed to come. You know, it's going to go through the Big Bend area, Tallahassee. Then it's going to go all the way through Georgia, and it's supposed to come all the way to Atlanta. And it's supposed to hit Atlanta. What they are afraid of here in Atlanta is the flooding, because you know, once we get 2 or 3 inches of rain, Atlanta floods out.
The way looking at the weather pattern on this, so yeah, that yeah, it's gonna make a beeline to Tallahassee, gonna clip Tampa, St. Pete, cut to Atlanta, and then go through Nashville.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the thing they're afraid of up here is going to be the flooding. The flooding is because it's going to rain a lot.
So yeah, it's a tropical storm right now. They got it it's a Cat 1 from what I'm looking at. It's a tropical storm right now from what I'm looking at. And they say it's supposed to be a category 1 by tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Thursday and Friday going to be the worst days.
Yeah, Thursday is supposed to go to a category 3.
Yeah.
And then it might make, you never know, it might make landfall as a low category 4.
Yeah, the main thing is the rain, the constant bombardment of rain. Because they closing FAMU's campus from, I think, starting tomorrow to what, Saturday? Because they closing that campus down.
Yeah, and I think that would be the best. That's the best thing for them to do. Close, you know, get all the kids out of there. Tell them to go.
Yeah, they're getting them out of
there. Go inland more. So yeah, it's just one of them things. Like, you just gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for it daily. I just know we had rain the other day, and it's like, man.
Hey, who you got in that Georgia Alabama game, man?
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, it's in Tuscaloosa.
Ooh,
I got Alabama, man. I think that boy Jalen, what's his name? What's your homeboy? I think he gonna put on the show, man. Yeah, I don't think they not gonna be able to stop that boy.
Ooh, it's in Tuscaloosa.
It's in Tuscaloosa. They gonna clown on Georgia, man.
I'm gonna go Georgia.
What's the name? Beat Georgia up and down the field. They just didn't beat them on the scoreboard. That Kentucky team.
I'm trying to figure out when Tennessee played Florida. Oh, we don't play them to week 7.
You talking about the Florida Gators?
Yeah.
Man, them people gonna put about 50 on the Gators. You know that, man.
I
They
know.
trying to
That's
figure out people trying to get that money together, get them a new coach, man. You know what's an AK stay down there? What's his name? Napier.
Napier.
Yeah, he can't stay down there, man. Man, what's that boy's name? Nico, whatever. He gonna drop about 40, 50 points on them. Shoot. They trying to figure out who they gonna get, man.
Well, they make some calls.
Yeah, somebody Noop said they're going after what's the guy's name in Oxford?
Lane Kiffin.
Kiffin, yeah. They're going after him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend of football. Good
Hey,
weekend of football.
Mr. Emmett Jones, the fire gonna be that Jalen Milrose. That's who don't, cause he gonna be bombing they behind. Yeah, that's gonna be the fire. He gonna be bombing they behind, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Georgia by 3.
No, I'm going with what's the name? I'm going with Alabama. Alabama's hot, man. The way they carved up Wisconsin. I'm not saying that Wisconsin in the same class as Georgia, but listen, man, that's gonna be a good game down there in Tuscaloosa. That's gonna be a big game. That's a night game too, so the world will be watching it. That's a night game.
Oh man. So Hugh Freeze is in over his head at Auburn.
Yeah, man, you got all kind of product. I bet he wish he was still at Liberty, man. Because they was paying him. They was paying him good. He just, had to come back. Now that's one of the games I'm gonna be watching, that JSU TSU game. I'm gonna be watching that, baby.
If I get good reception in the Cotton Bowl, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm gonna be listen, man, that's a big game. I want to see what kind of supporters with Jackson State coming to town. That should be at least 18,000, 19,000, shouldn't it?
Yeah. We should have a good crowd.
Yeah, it should have a good crowd.
We should have a good crowd. I did the men's basketball media day on Zoom on Friday, this past Friday, as all the coaches talked to Coach Johnny Jones.
Oh yeah, Texas Southern.
Mm-hmm. With all this stop see, North Texas, LSU, and Texas Southern and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you've been around the block.
Let me ask you this: Is Johnny Jones responsible? Is Johnny Jones responsible for Ben Simmons being trash? Is he the reason for that? Because Ben Simmons is trash. They give him all that money and he's nothing.
Let me be honest. I don't think it's on Johnny Jones.
Okay.
I think that's just on Ben Simmons. I think it's on Ben Simmons.
So he was overrated from day one, or what?
I think the 1 year where he did have the back injury, like it was more legit that they were talking about the back injury. I think that was true right there, but it's a contract year now for him, so it's like he's playing for a new contract. But to me, it's like when he got his money, it just like he just didn't care no more.
Where is he now? Is he still in Jersey? Is he still in Brooklyn?
He is with I think he is with Brooklyn.
He's with Brooklyn, okay.
Because he was with Philadelphia.
How could you let that kid come through your program and he doesn't have a jump shot? I mean, was that just in Ben's head, or what was that, a lack of coaching? What was that?
I think it was just Ben don't have once he got into the NBA and the first 3 years he's under his rookie deal, you know, you see what what you're gonna get. As far as him doing 15, 8 and 8 or 17, 9 and 8 and whatever, you know, he's not gonna get you for he'll score like 20 points in a game, but he's not gonna be a 20-point game average starter. I think once when he got his rookie max deal,
Yeah.
he just did not care. But it was 1 year he did have a legit back injury because they say he had back surgery. But at the same time, it's he's at the same time he's in a contract year. He's trying to get money because it's like, well, they can pay me if I'm hurt. They still gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm hurt, they still gotta pay me. Like,
Well, let me ask you this. At where we at in the NFL season, are you heard about Dallas's defense, man? Because to me, it just look their defense looks terrible. What's your thoughts on Dallas, the Cowboy defense?
we got dragged on Sunday, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, because listen, are y'all spending any? Okay, now Michael Parsons, has he got the max deal yet? Did he get any money?
Nope. This is
Okay, so are y'all spending any money on your defense, or are you doing like the Falcons used to do? You got a poverty defense. You spend all your money on offense, and you give the boys, them brothers, you get them poverty pay.
Let's see. So Trayvon Diggs got paid.
Okay.
I feel like we should not have let Stephon Gilmore go. Let's see. With our linebackers league gone, like Vander Esch retired because of injury. We really don't have another linebacker because we got Michael Parsons playing. He's actually playing DN. I would rather put him back at weak side linebacker. I would put him at weak side linebacker and have him be like a Lawrence Taylor instead of having your hand in the dirt. Just stand up and walk him down. I think our defense could be fixed. Now with the offense though, you can't be dropping passes. Like we was in contention to get a touchdown, and I know CD had caught the ball and they punched it out of his hand. He fumbled the ball. So you can't have that. You can't have that. And then we have no running game. We have no running game whatsoever. That dude in that purple number 22 was supposed to be here in Dallas. Jerry didn't want to sign him, and he just went with the best available offer, which was the Ravens. So they got to fix it because now you paid Dak all this money. You paid Dak all this money. Now you want him to be the savior to make sure that the team stays in all the games and stuff like that. But we shall see on Thursday because we got the Giants, and the Giants ain't that good either. So the Giants ain't that good either. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you rate Jerry Jones as one of the better general managers or one of the worst general managers?
I would say he is one of the most. He is the mediocre general manager because the game is past his time now,
Right.
and to me, he's getting up there in age, and the way it looks like, I think Steven and Charlotte, they're gonna try to wrestle the team away from him. Though they're gonna say, "Hey, you cannot just be the general manager. You need to hire a general manager that knows football." I mean, and I feel like this. You got one of the best scouts on our. We got one of the best scouts on our team, in Will McClay. Why don't we make him a general manager? He knows football. You know, he knows about football. He knows about players. Um, you know where to get the players at. I think he needs to be the general manager. Like seriously. But until Jared decides that he doesn't want to be the general manager or he wants to shift ownership over to somebody else, I mean, I don't know. I'll put it like this: if Jared real slick, I think he not gonna give the team to Steven. I think he'll find somebody to buy the team before he'll give it to his son.
Let me ask you this question then. You got to pick one. If you were the coach at Jackson State, who would be your starter, McCoy, or would it be Jacoby and Morgan? You
Right
got to
now,
pick one.
the way the team look, I'm gonna go with Jacobian.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
But I do like him because he does add another dynamic with his legs as running the football. And they both can throw the ball. But I'll go with Morgan. My only issue with Jacobian is you gotta, when it's time for you to take off, take off. Don't sit there. Because now you got the rush coming at you. Take off.
My second question. Do you agree with TC's play calling, or would you like to see him bring in an offense coordinator?
Right now, I actually do like his play calling. And I think he hasn't opened up that playbook yet. I think he's waiting on the right time to open that playbook up. It might be this weekend. It might be next weekend where we go to Mobile.
And that's Alabama A&M. Who do you have in Mobile?
Alabama A&M.
Right. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you take, Bradley or Quinn?
I'm gonna go with Quinn.
Okay, I agree.
I'm gonna go with Quinn because the reason why I go with Quinn, I like the defense because Quinn has a multiple set style defense. You can say, well, you don't like the 3-3-5, but shoot, that 3-3-5 has basically stopped a lot of teams. It'll stop that run because we got what we do have on the defensive side is we got the personnel. Like his defense, you could go from four-man front, 3-man front. Then sometimes You go to a 5, which
Yeah, that's
really
the
is
one I
not a
like.
5. Yeah, it's really not a 5. It was more
Yeah.
the linebackers playing. It's really basically playing the Bear defense, the
46.
46.
Well, I like it when he walks up to 6 and everybody's standing up. I really like that.
Yeah,
I like that when he brings that pressure
and
and
so
everybody's standing up.
and so that's why I like Quinn's defense better than Bradley's. And then when you think about it, a defensive coordinator for their defense, it takes like at least the second year for that whole system to be completely implemented.
Oh, yeah. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want Tennessee State in Jackson or do you want Tennessee State in Memphis?
Well, people say Tennessee, they want to go back to Memphis, but that money ain't right. Come on
So
to Jackson.
you want Tennessee State in Jackson?
Yeah, I do the home and home.
Home and home. Okay. Okay. Once again, let me ask you this: is Alabama State overrated? Is Alabama State's football team overrated?
Offensive
Yes or
wise,
no?
yes it is. Yes, it is.
No, totally. Is the team overrated? Would you put them in your top 4 or top 5?
They are overrated because
Overrated. Okay.
I did not see them. What I was saying, to me, they did not look like a team that could be tops in the East.
Right.
By far, they lost a lot. No, they gained a lot, but they lost a lot.
Let me ask you this: if Jackson State and Florida A&M met up Saturday, say they were playing Saturday, what would be your score?
Well, the way that we got beat by Grambling, I'm not gonna lie to you. That game will be very close. I will have to go with. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna say Jackson, but it'll be by 3.
By 3 in Jackson.
In Jackson.
Okay. Let me ask you this: how long is it going to take Jackson State to reach the heights of your girls basketball coach that left? Do you think this lady will come in and win like she did, or is it going to take a year, 2 years, or 3 years?
I think it'll take it.
How many years is it going to take them to reach the heights of Coach Tamika Reed?
I think it'll take at least a year.
Okay.
That couple was there when Coach Richards got to Jackson, and we started. She started late, but I think we'll get wins. I think we'll get about 15 or 16 wins. So all my people in Jackson we want to see the dominance that we've been seeing. It's just not going to be this year.
Next question.
We'll be in the SWAC. We'll be in the SWAC tournament.
Next question.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to put these fan bases in the order that they belong.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, Southern, Florida A&M, Grambling. Who's number 4?
Well, number 4, I would say Grambling.
Okay. Who's number 3?
Number 3. Well, hell, you just put it all in order for.
No, I want you to put them in order. This is which is okay. You said Grambling's number 4. Grambling has a number 4 fan base. Who's number 3?
I would say FAMU.
Who's number 2?
I would say Southern. I would say Jackson, number 1.
Okay, Jackson has the best fan base. Southern has the second best fan base. You said number 3 was who was number 3? FAMU has the number 3 fan base, and Grambling has a number 4 fan base. Mm-hmm. Now let me ask this: would you say Alabama State number 5, or would it be Alabama? Well, let's see. Would it be Alabama State, or would it be Alcorn? Who would be number 5? Would it be Alabama
Al-
State, or would
Alcorn.
Alcorn would be number 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Let me ask you this. If you
Uh-huh.
had 5 minutes to sit down with the new president of Jackson State, what would you talk to him about, Doc? What advice would you give him? And if he gives you 5 minutes, what would you talk to him about?
The first thing I'll talk to him about is the housing situation.
Okay, that would be number. Say it out of 3. Would that be number 1 or number 2 or number 3?
Number 1 for me.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2 would be better communication coming from the university.
To the alums, or to the world, or to the people in America? To who?
Well, first it'll be to the students, because those are your constituents right there to me. And then you go to your alums, because you have to reach out to every alumni base that you have out here, going from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast, and then to the world, to let everybody know what is going on at 1400 J.R. Lynch Street.
Okay.
And then my last one is getting Jackson State back to marketability, where it was when I was in school, you couldn't go nowhere out in Mississippi and East Louisiana and Tennessee and Arkansas without seeing a damn commercial for Jackson State.
Right. Next question, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
If you were the president of Jackson State,
Mm-hmm.
and you were given one choice, and they said, Doc, you can either go after a law school or a medical school, which one would you pick?
I would go after the law school first.
Tell us why.
I think going after the law school would be a little bit more easier than going after the medical school, because the simple fact the medical school it's in Jackson, but it's controlled by Ole Miss. People would say the medical, but I think the law would be a much better.
So you'd want a law school.
I would take the law school, not to take anything away from medical school, because I would love to see a medical school at Jackson State, but because Ole Miss controls a lot of everything in the state of Mississippi, and I think they even control the law school in Mississippi, but I think it's easier that I think it would be easier for us to go for the law school than the medical school.
Next question. In your humble opinion, should Brett Favre be charged for malfeasance, or should he be charged for misappropriation of funds along with the governor? Yes or no?
Man, he should be tried and convicted and thrown in jail. I don't give a damn if he got Parkinson's disease. You knew what you was doing, man. Come on. Okay. You knew what you was doing. I know the news came out that he got Parkinson's disease, and part of that probably was because he was playing. But other than that, man, I just think he just need to be tried and convicted and sent to prison.
Okay.
I mean, and if he go to prison, because it was, I mean, you're dealing with, it's part of state, but it's still federal, because that's like federal money.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll be in Club Fed. But the crazy thing about being in Club Fed, You got to do day by day. You got to do day by day. And they don't care if they move you to this place and that place and anything else. You're going to have to do, if they say 7 years, you got to do all 7 years before you get out.
Next question.
Mm-hmm.
If you had your choice, would you keep that Grambling game on the campus of Grambling, or would you ask that game be taken to Shreveport?
Well, for the folks that went to the game, I heard it was no complaints.
Okay.
And it was no complaints.
I attended.
Now, oh, you did. Chuck, you did say you went there. Was there no complaint? Yeah,
and my parents and I went. Yeah, it was a great occasion, and my parents and I went, and it was well attended. You know, what happened? Think about it, really, it would have been more people. I mean, you have more people outside the stadium, the tailgating areas, and you have those walking around, looking at their phones. And like I said, if you could have gotten those people at the tailgating area, it'd been even more in that stadium. Just my opinion about that.
So, Chuck, what do you think about moving it to Shreveport? Are you against that?
That's where we used to go. To Shreveport. It wouldn't be any problem with me. Yeah, but I'm not in these positions.
If you went to Shreveport, would you get a crowd of 40 to 50,000?
That's a great question. That's one you just have to just look at it, see when it develops. That's why I'm not just answering. I don't want to sound let's say delusional or anything. I just see how these things play out.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Chuck. Should Grambling and Jackson State play every year?
Should they play every year?
Yeah.
Well, every year.
Now, personally, I think they should play every year.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's why I remember. Growing up. They played every year. Coming through the 1980s. I grew up in the 1980s, seeing Eddie Robinson and W.C. Gordon battling it out. That's what I'm accustomed to that every year. And it wouldn't be any problem with me. I just want to see a great ball game. At first, the way this game was going to go this past weekend, I thought it was going to be. I didn't even make a prediction. I thought it was going to be a closer ball game. To tell you all the truth, not knowing what the outcome was going to become.
Well, let me ask you this, Chuck. Do you think that we could see in the SWAC championship Grambling versus Florida A&M? And why would you think that?
Grambling versus Florida A&M. Whoa.
Or the SWAC championship.
Grambling versus Florida A&M SWAC championship. Let me see. If Grambling continue doing it, they're going to have to keep those penalties down, though. That's the thing about it. I watching these games. They could get to the SWAC championship. They have the chemistry to do it, but hopefully Miles Crawley get himself together, and that defense stood up real well. Jason Rollins had them ready to. There's been a lot of they've been having a lot of flaws in that defense. I knew Rollins back when he was at McNeese when I was going to school there. I know him and Reggie Nelson's guys that are on the staff, and Delphine Lee and all of them. But the defense stepped up real well, and I think and the way they beat up on Jackson, it was I was looking at like what North Carolina Central did to North Carolina A&T, how the defense was playing.
Right.
I would say regular season, I think you could take it to Shreveport. I don't know about 40, 50,000. I think you could probably get maybe 30,000. Because it's still, from Jackson to Shreveport is still like 3.5. That's still like 3 hours right there.
I'm 120 miles from Jackson, here in Monroe.
Yeah. And it's what, 80 something miles to Shreveport. Yeah,
it's 100 miles from Monroe to Shreveport.
Mm-hmm. So you can.
What was the official attendance Friday night in Grambling?
Saturday
night. I'm sorry, Saturday.
It was like
19,000 and some.
And what is capacity at Robinson Stadium?
Oh, what is that capacity? I remember that stadium was open in 1983. I forgot what that capacity is. I've seen
They
it
said it's like
full.
19. I think the capacity is like 19,000. That's their capacity.
Yeah,
They said it. Um, they said it was like over 19,000, like 19,600. Yeah.
yeah, and I've seen it full. I was in. We were at that game in 1994. I've seen it a full house when back when Steve McNair played at Alcorn, when Graham Alcorn played, and yeah, I've seen it full like that in other games, and yeah, but yeah, I can see that.
I can see this. I can see this. Either Jackson or FAMU play Grambling in the SWAC championship game.
Right.
Let's just say the game is in the hole. That is a easy drive for the folks in Jackson. That would be an easy drive for me because I'm coming from Dallas. I think it would be feasible, but the thing to me is if just say Jackson just went out. We just went out. Just when we go, let's just say we went 8 straight. Just hypothetically saying, let's just say we went 8 straight. We'll host the championship game.
Right.
Let's just say Grambling went out.
Right.
And they come to Jackson. Right?
Right.
I think you could probably get 50,000 in there.
At the vet?
At the vet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because then it's like you can, because if it would be like, well, the fan base for Grambling would be like, well, we're back. We're back. They're gonna try to come out. They're gonna try to come out the woodworks. And for that they will.
Mm-hmm.
This is my final question, and I'm gonna have to take it in. And I'm gonna ask you first, Chuck, and then I'm gonna end with you, Doc.
Okay.
Chuck, I want you to give me 3 things, in your opinion, that would help and improve the SWAC product, that would make the SWAC conference better. Tell me 3 things.
3 things that help the SWAC product better. Ooh,
Yeah, would make the
as
SWAC
far as
better.
football, is football.
No, as far as a better conference altogether. What would propel us to be a better conference? Give me 3 things, and Doc, I'm in with you. I want you to give me 3, and I'm going to bed. All right, let's start with you, Chuck. Give me 3 things.
One thing with SWAC, I'll say, you talk about Meteor. That's one of the things like Meteor. Showing those games that's one of them that you.
Yeah, okay, you want more games shown.
Yeah, because
okay.
Yeah, and you could say you could say marketing. Yeah, I know that's been a thing that people always talk about, marketing. And let me see the next thing, that last thing. Let me see. I know you about to get off of here, but I said marketing, and I can't think of the third thing. I can't think of the third thing that we need to do. Yeah, I named those 2 things. I named media and marketing, and
we'll come back to you. Take up one.
Okay.
All right, Doc, give me 3.
Okay. All right.
We'll come back, Chuck. Give me 3.
Okay. So me, I would go marketing at first, because when you think about it, like the SWAC basketball tournament could have been marketed so much better in Birmingham, and I feel like Birmingham didn't take advantage of it like like it could have done. Now you move it over to, like I said, you move that over to Atlanta, and I think the marketing for it to be in Atlanta is going to be a huge one, because you're not in a cavernous space. You're in an arena that seats like maybe 5,000 to 6,000, which it helps for everybody. Another one I'm looking at it, higher athletic budgets.
Okay.
Everybody.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff? Do you want everybody should have at least 10 million? Everybody should have at least 6. What do you want?
I would say I would say everybody's budget is 16 million, because if that's what
Okay.
Prairie View is spending on athletics, that would be my whole thing. Match what the charter SWAC school is doing, which is Prairie View.
Right.
And then last but not least, of course, media rights. I think we are in our last year of the ESPN deal, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully they can come up with a better media, a better number where we could get more funds sent out to our athletic programs, to to the athletic departments in the conference. Stadium naming licensing, I mean, that's indicative on the school, not the conference. Yeah, I would say, yeah, the main one is the athletic budgets, because a lot of folks say like we shouldn't have to be going to play Michigan State, or we don't have to go to Western Michigan or play just these FBS out of conference games, where we can still have our games on the football side, basically still have rivalries and our games. But also another thing, a thing too, people's got to understand, like most of these schedules are, especially on football, are done 2 to 3 years in advance. So unless the school, if we got an out of conference game, and let's just say the school say we're not going to play y'all, they have to pay us because they broke the contract. But I would say the athletic budget, I would say marketing, and I would say the media rights.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you and Chuck one more question. I'm gonna let it go. Chuck, I want you to name me the top 3 bands in the SWAC. In your opinion, give me number 3, number 2, and then to give me your best. All right, Chuck, who's the
Ooh,
number 3 band in the SWAC?
I'm a 3-man band. That's ooh, boy, you get me in some trouble there, Mr. Ford.
Come on, you got come on. Who you got at number 3?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Say Southern
Okay,
Jackson State.
okay, wait a minute. Southern at number 3.
Let me see. Oh, I don't want to. People coming after me.
Come on. You want Southern at number 3?
I'm no. I don't see number 3. I put a.
Who you want at number 3?
I'll say. I know people get mad. I'll say Grambling.
Grambling at number 3. Who you got at number 2?
I'll say Jackson State.
Jackson State number 2.
Don't come at me. Don't come at me, Doc.
Don't worry about Doc. All right. So, Chuck, who is the best band in the SWAC so far?
Ooh, I know people say they start cheering and say Southern.
Okay, so Southern's the best band in the SWAC.
That's hard. That's a.
Wait a minute. So you saying Southern's the best band in the SWAC, right?
Ooh, gosh, you put me in that's a tough one.
Come on, what you got? You got Southern number 1?
I would say I'll say Southern.
Southern. Okay. All right, Doc. I'm gonna let you end it up. Doc, who you got at number 3?
Man, number 3, I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with, it ain't pots and pans. I'm gonna go with Pine Bluff.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
Pine Bluff number 3.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go with the
right.
I'm gonna go with the M4. Only reason why,
Okay.
because they're gonna be playing
I know Mr. Graham.
Yeah, they're gonna be in Atlanta, play at Bad Blood. They're gonna do Cody Rhodes theme music for him to
I know
walk
Okay.
out
John
to.
Wall.
All right, give me number 2. Give me what you got at number 2.
Number two, I'm gonna go with Southern.
Southern. Okay. And who's
And
the best band in the SWAC?
the best band of the SWAC resides on 1400 J.R. Lynch Street.
I thought
And
maybe you
that's
would say that.
Jackson State, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
resides on.
Bye, Miss
I mean,
Whitley. Hey, Doc, I'm out, man. I'm out.
right.
I'm out.
All
I'm
right,
about
Mr. Ford.
to. I'm
Y'all have
about
a
to
good
be
night.
out. I'm about to be out too, Chuck. Man, I thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you.
you, Doc.
All
Thank you.
right.
You all be safe out there. Okay.
All right,
All right.
man. I know I had to cause some controversy. You know what I'm saying? I had to cause some controversy. I don't even see FAMU as being the number 3 band in the SWAC. Hell, no, 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 no. I'm like the girl. I'm like the chick off of Get Out. No, 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 no. I was being, I was being sarcastic when I said the M4, but I do like what I heard from them. Bethune is number 4 in my book. Bethune is number 4. Number 5 is Pots and Pans. But yeah, that's another show for another day, y'all. This they gonna end it up with the top 10, top 3 in the bands, man. That's crazy. But hey, you can't go no wrong when you got Mr. Ford on the show. But anyway, everybody. Oh, I ain't underrated Texas Southern. I ain't underrated Texas Southern. I'ma just need my mans to make sure that his pants stay up on him when he's performing. I saw the field show when y'all was at the National Battle of the Bands. Pants gotta stay up. Gotta stay up. Gotta stay up. But y'all know if we talk about, man, this conversation is gonna be another hour or too long, and I'm trying to get in the bed at a reasonable time. But other than that, y'all, I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. Make sure that you hit the donation pot because this is State Fair Classic Week. I am trying to make sure I can have enough change to get up in this thing. Take my little train down to South Dallas. Make sure I have enough money for my turkey leg. I got my camera I got my camera. I'm not taking my backpack, but I got my camera in tow. I got my phone on my chest in my pocket, and all I need is a turkey leg in one hand and a frozen lemonade in the other. It don't get no better than that. And where can you go when you got all close to 60,000, 60, 70,000 that's not named Jackson State inside of a stadium? Black people. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Like I said, that band talk is gonna be a lot of that's gonna be a whole nother conversation right there. But make sure y'all check out the store on YouTube channel where you get all your hoodies and your t-shirts ready for this fall, because the weather changed. Like, instead of it being the 90s now, it done got down to the 80s here in Texas and stuff like that. In other places it's gonna get down to like the 70s or so. Make sure you hit that, check that out, and support the page through there. Also, you can hit the Cash App, the PayPal, and the Zelle. And the Zelle for donation. Shout out to EA. Like I said, he thought I was gonna have Jackson State at number 1. He was wrong. He gave me 25. He can hit me with another 25. He's still in the chat. If you do a drumline exhibition, where you gonna have it at? Let me know where you have it at. You gotta be a driver this because I want to go. I want to check it out myself. But shout out EA, he a good sport. He does stay in the Panhandle. So for all the folks that's in the Florida Panhandle, y'all pray for them. I know FAMU is going to be evacuating the school sometime either tomorrow or Thursday, more likely tomorrow because it's going to be too late on Thursday. So y'all pray for them. Let's see. Something else I will get ready to say. Y'all pray for me. We're gonna have a birthday celebration again on October the 8th. That is my actual birthday. We're gonna have a birthday celebration show again on that day. Yeah, we're gonna have it all up in here. I don't know what type of thing we're gonna do, but we're gonna have a celebration because I'll be turning 45 this year. Also, check us out on Thursday for Suno Night Live. Of course, y'all know I'm the host of that right there. You're gonna see that on HBCU Plus. I don't know what we're gonna do this week because last week they 2 Thursdays ago they had a tropical storm hurricane come through. I think it was, what was that, Berlin? So yeah, Libra season in full effect, y'all. As always, it is what it is. But let me get off this thing right here. Make sure, like I said, for all those folks that's on Twitter, make sure you come on to the dark side of YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. And also follow me on TikTok. So I'm going back and doing some more TikToks also. Let everybody know what's up. And as always, y'all, as y'all see my little title down there on the bottom, yes, that's where I'm from, Oak Cliff, Texas. But other than that, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. And again, send our prayers out to all the folks down there in the Florida Panhandle. We're gonna ride with you. Make sure y'all stay safe down there. We'll be back on this thing. I can see what my schedule is this week. No Saturday night show on Saturday unless I leave out of the State Fair Classic early than expected. And, to make sure we can do a show at that time. If not, it'll be a show done on Sunday as a recap. But again, we out this thing. Be easy. Peace.